Adrian. I'm a yoga sculpt instructor with Sculpt by Adrian. You can find me on Instagram at sculpt_by_Adrian. And you're listening to 20TIMinutes.
Where the party at? Where the party at? Well, you know what? It's right here because it's Tuesday, 20TIMinutes, episode 9. Thank you for checking in. That introduction was done by my good friend, Adrian. She is a yoga instructor from Sculpt by Adrian. You can follow her on Instagram at sculpt_by_Adrian. Tell her I said hello. Or I can just do it right now. Hello, Adrian. She's like one of the funniest people too. Like people that say women aren't funny. Go hang out with her for 20 minutes and you'll be dying. Literally dying from laughter. But Adrian, thank you again. Go check her out, Sculpt by Adrian. I love yoga. What she's doing is great. She does like IG live classes. I was like super fat before I got into getting in shape. And I was like eating peanut butter on a knife. And then I would dip it into a bag of Rolos and like suck it off clean like it was like a chicken bone. And then I like did like a Snapchat of it and like I replayed it and I was like, damn, that's bad. So I looked up that DDP Yoga, Diamond Dallas Page, former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. Look it up. Get familiar. He has like a yoga program that gets people into shape, but I couldn't even touch my toes. And I'm a little dude. Like I'm 5'6", and then I'm 5'7" if I stretch. So if you're looking to get in shape and help you mentally and physically, go take a yoga class. Call up Adrian. Go laugh and stretch. She got you. She'll take care of you. So there's a lot of things I forget to talk about on each episode because I am filled to the brim with ADHD and I'm a mile a minute. If you watch my YouTube, I'm like looking everywhere at the same time. And if you ever talk to me in person, I'm doing the same exact thing. And I can only imagine the people that listen to this and don't know me, they're like, this kid is all over the map. So I do apologize. But you know what? Not sorry, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I hate that phrase. When people say, sorry, not sorry, why are you saying that in the first place? Just don't even say anything. What does that mean? I don't even know what that really means. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not sorry, so why are you saying sorry if it doesn't mean anything? Kind of just negates the whole thing. It's stupid. People think they're clever. If you say that, you got to change it. Okay? But on the last episode, I talked about addiction, and I think one of the biggest debates people have is like, is addiction a disease or not? And I feel like it's one of those debates where that doesn't need to be happening at all, because no matter what side you pick, it's a problem that we have to fix. So whether you think it is or it isn't, I don't know why we have that debate. How about we just figure out how to help some people instead of fighting, which is pretty much what we do every day, is just fight with each other, which I don't like. And then I was when we were talking about like medication and stuff when you're trying to get better, and like I've definitely gone through this, and I know people talking about sex is kind of weird. When I took antidepressants, I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I have no sex drive whatsoever. It's like, hey, do you want to have sex? I'm like, no, but I have this Play-Doh if you want to throw that around. That is like one of the most defeating things too, because you're like, man, I feel great. I just wish I would get a boner, but you got to fight through that. Pills don't work for everybody. You got to trial and error. So once that's how it happened to me, I go, what's next on the docket, doc? I can't take this. I need a pill that doesn't give me Play-Doh pants. Play-Doh pants. Patenting that. And then I wanted to thank Duffy. Not many people know this, obviously. 20TIMinutes came from him. I was workshopping names with him, and I was going to do Timmy 20 minutes because it kind of sounds like took me 20 minutes, Timmy 20 minutes. And he hit me back with 20TIMinutes, and I was like, bruh, that's the fucking name, dude. And then, so shout out Duff for coming up with the name of 20TIMinutes. I'm not creative at all. I'm just here stealing everything from everyone else I know who are way funnier and smarter than me. I'm like smoke and mirrors. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy talking, and hopefully you all like me. But I found out recently, and it was inevitable. It took maybe eight episodes, but people at work have found my podcast. So if you're from my work and are listening to this, I know that you know that I know now. And you can just say something to my face, dude. No, I'm just kidding. The kid that told me, really nice kid, really good friend, and like he was making hints and like he was like making like references to my shows, and I was like, I don't know if I like talked about this in real life or what. And then like I drove home one night and I was like, this kid fucking knows. I know he knows, and of course he knew, but I was glad that he said something because I knew it was bound to happen, and I would rather just be like, oh, you guys know, that's cool. Let me know if you like it or not. So shout out to my work peeps if you're listening to this. Hi, thanks for coming. I actually like didn't really care now. Like I think at first because I get like so weird about this podcast, like with people I know, because like I have that thing where like I don't like talking about things that I do in like a positive manner. Like if you praise me for something, I'm just like, yeah, like, oh, the podcast is good. I'm like, I think you're lying to me, but I just realized like that's just the way I am and I can't take a compliment. It's like I just don't care anymore. And like it goes to show because I don't have a phone case anymore. There was a time where like I would always protect my phone as much as I could, and now I'm just like dropping it. It's broken. Don't even care. Same thing with my wallet. Lindsay wants to kill me because my wallet is never put together. I got credit and debit cards all over the place. I have a credit card missing right now. Don't know where it is. It could be getting used. I don't know. But I don't care. Because I've had my credit card stolen before and they just refund you back. I can see a lot of credit card fraud going down because of that, but I'm not too worried about it. I have been kind of having a tough time still, like mood swing wise. Still can't really figure it out. No motivation. Another big thing that beats me down a lot, and I always forget to bring it up, especially to my therapist, is my memory. It's not like I forget things. It's like short bursts. Like earlier I was trying to get ready for the podcast and I kept on going up and down the stairs to go grab stuff. I would come downstairs, I'm like, wait, what am I grabbing? And I feel like that happens to everybody, but it happens too long and too many times in between. Like sometimes you're like, oh, I forgot this, blah. Like this time I'm like, all right, go downstairs, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. And I get downstairs, I stand there, I'm like, what am I doing? And then it goes back to like me telling the same story to people. I either tell them 20 times or I don't tell them at all. That is like super frustrating in my head because I don't like not remembering things. I love memory lane and I'm sliding off the guardrail and I can't remember how to get back on there. I know that has something to do with my medications. I've looked it up. So I think I have to do a little switcheroo, but I don't want Play-Doh pants. So I got to figure that out. But that's definitely what's been going on is definitely the mood swings are still hitting me randomly. And I don't know why. My birthday is this week, and I think that might be the case. It's like it goes back to that like recognition. Like people are gonna be like, "Hey, happy birthday! I love the podcast." I'm like, "No, you probably really don't, but I appreciate you being nice." But that just goes back to me being a fucking nut. Like I just can't take any compliments. I do appreciate when people reach out like personally and talk to me about the podcast. Like again, I really do appreciate that. So I'm trying to show what helps for me, and it was actually good because a good friend of mine really liked the last episode, and she told me that she thinks of 3 things every morning that she's grateful for, and when she does it, she has a good day, and when she forgets or doesn't do it, she normally has a bad day. And I was like, oh, that's really good. I'm going to start doing that. And I'm going to start doing that tomorrow because I heard it today. So at the end of the episode, I'll probably think of 3 things, which that's how I am. But for me, sleep is crucial. I always need sleep. I'm like a huge baby. Like, just rock me to sleep, drive around, and me in the back seat, and put me down. Music's huge. Again, huge Project Pat, Kesha. Like me and Lindsay were talking about, like, if one of us were in a coma. Again, we're a morbid couple. If I'm ever in a coma, come and bring up Project Pat, Chicken Head, or Good Googly Moogly, and I'll probably get out of it. So if I'm like passed out and all I hear is, Good Googly Moogly, that thing is juicy, I will pop right out of that. Guaranteed. Another thing is just like good movies. I always watch the same movies over and over again, so I'm always bringing up my movie suggestions. But you got to find those certain things that you're grateful for even in those dark times. And it's very hard because I know I'm cynical, and I try not to let positivity like overtake my negativity. I've always said like my negativity, I like to bury it more and more. And to pull yourself out is always a good feeling, and you know you're going to, but in that instant you're like, I don't care if it ever happens again. But I thank my friend for reaching out and letting me know about that. I'm going to take that into consideration every morning when I wake up. If I can remember, because again, your boy has some memory issues. I think everyone should try doing that, especially if they're having a rough week. So I think by doing that, it's going to really change me a little bit better moving forward. See, positivity is contagious, people. Just got to keep passing it around. You get a little bit, you get a little bit, give a little bit back to me. Because when you don't get it back, you get kind of negative and sad, and then like you need like instant gratification from like a podcast you do, and when you don't hear about it, you think that you're not doing good. But then when people say nice things to you, you're like, you're just being nice. I feel like this is like an adult Make-A-Wish thing for me, and everyone's just being nice for no reason. But again, I'm not going to keep saying it because I don't want to keep repeating myself. It's pretty annoying. You know what actually is kind of annoying, and I feel like everyone's been in this instance, maybe like at their job or a friend. So like I don't like repetition things where it's like not a beat. Like if someone's tapping their foot or clicking a pen or like whistling, drives me nuts. So like I do this thing where like I'm like unpassive aggressive. Like I'm not like that. I'm like, hey man, you know that thing you're doing? Hey, you like who's doing that? It takes me a lot for her to say something, because the reason I don't say something is I have like anxiety of having those types of conversations, but I hate they use it against you down the road. So I'll be like, hey man, can you not like click your pen? It's like annoying me. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And like you can kind of tell they're like kind of annoyed by you saying that, but then they should realize that clicking a pen, it's super annoying. But then like a week later will happen, and that same person will be there, but another person will click their pen and be like, hey guys, don't click your pen around Tim, he's gonna get upset. That drives me bananas. That's why I don't say anything. People like they hit you with the passive right back. That's why I don't say anything. I usually do the passive route, or then I'm like, that's kind of rude, so then I'll just say it straight up, and then you get that type of shit. That drives me up a wall. And I know what else was bothering me too, is because I do put a lot into this podcast and I want it to be so good, is I was like, you know what, I gotta make like a website. And I was like messing around with WordPress, is that it? I was messing around with that because I just wanted like a central hub for everything, because I had one like way before when I did the podcast with Billy Cox, Bill and Tim's Bogus Podcast. So I was doing it and I was working on it so hard, all this shit, and I fucking deleted something by mistake and I just couldn't get it back because it froze, and I like went like mental. And like, I know it sounds stupid, it's like, hey, just get over it and fix it, but like I was so fucking heated because I hate wasting my own time for stuff. And like, if someone wastes my time, I'm like, all right, that's fucking annoying. But when like it's my fault for my own problems, I get so fucking pissed. I am my own worst critic and enemy, because I'm putting so much work into this that I want it to be perfect. Like, it takes me so many takes to find the right sound and my right voice, even though I'll never like my voice or my sound. So like, I'll do a couple takes and I'm like getting nervous. I'm like, this sucks. I'm gonna do terrible. But I just gotta relax and have fun. People like fun. People don't want to hear me complain every week. I understand that. I just want to tell you how I feel. Maybe you feel like that. You don't like people that click their pens, stomp their feet, whistle. I don't know. Let me know what annoys you, because it's funny. I always laugh at stuff like that because I know that drives me nuts. But if you do that thing to me where you're like, hey, Tim doesn't like feet tapping, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Lose, all right? But the social media game is getting better. It's kind of cool hearing people you don't know actually listen to the show. It's awesome. I love Twitter and I love Instagram. TikTok, I think I gotta get rid of it. It is, I don't even know what the word is, but I don't feel okay looking at a lot of those videos. You're scrolling and it's just girls dancing, which isn't the problem. But I don't know how old these girls are, especially by the way they dress. So I don't really watch anything on there anymore. I kind of just have it on my phone. But then I was thinking, and I was like, there's so many like older guys on there, because I've gotten like shit comments from guys like commenting on my body. And I'm like, hey man, if you wanted a good looking guy, go to like a different app. Like, I'm not, why are you looking at me? So then I'm thinking, I'm like, these dudes are like 50, 60, and there's like 17-year-olds dancing on there. Like, that's going to be the most like pedophilia like app out there that no one has realized yet. And it's got to be taken care of. It is so fucking creepy. So then I was like kind of going down like a, not like a rabbit hole, but like the topic of like pedophiles and mental illness. Then I saw an article, and again, I don't read, I just read like a little bit, but someone was trying to correlate mental illness with pedophilia, and that's kind of hard to do. Like, I always say I can put myself in other people's shoes and try to think like they think or like how they feel. That's like the one thing besides killing somebody that I can't process in my head. Like, I don't understand like how someone operates to that level. But is it a mental illness? I wouldn't put it in the same category as everybody else, because we know right from wrong. You know, like when killers kill somebody, they get to do the insanity plea, and then they go get to be in like a luxurious like hospital. And it's not fair, and it's a spit in the face to people that actually need help, that are great, good people, and not huge pieces of shit that use TikTok. So that's why I'm kind of taking a step back from TikTok. I don't know if anyone else notices that when they watch that app, but I'm good with that. Instagram I like. I had a pretty good like comment on one of these videos. It was like positive. It was like those stupid prank videos where like they go up and like scare somebody, or like they run their carriage into somebody at Walmart. It's like, these people are having bad days as it is. They don't need these dumbass kids like pissing them off. So I wrote some comment. It had like 7,000 likes. So I got like a bunch of stupid comments. Like, I'd say like 70-30 was all positive. So it was kind of done, because like Instagram posts last like 2 days. So I got a comment like 5 days after, and some kid, I forget what he said, but he said something that obviously I had to clap back, because I'm the king of the clapbacks. And I was like, yeah, man, for all those fallen homies of yours. He was like this kid, like basketball jersey, cargo shorts, like past his knee. I was like, all right, I'm going to say something to him. So I checked my messages. He messaged me, and he was doing that thing where it's like, dude, I will fly you out to New York and fight you, like your little jujitsu thing that won't do nothing. Then he kept calling me the F word that rhymes with bag. And I was like, dude, this guy is literally insane. So I was fucking with him back and all this stuff. But I hate when people use that word. They're like, oh, it just like, it drives me insane. But like, I'm not offended in that case. Like, it gets me riled up. Like, I just kept on saying weird shit to him back. I was like, all right, man, I'll just kiss you right on the mouth. Like, whatever. I don't care. I was at the movies one day by myself. And by the way, I don't like going to the movies by myself, or going to the movies in general. But I went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming. And I think I've only told Lindsay this story. So I was sitting there, and I was by myself in the end seat, and these like three guys next to me. Their names were probably like Brad, Rad, and Tad. And they were in their seats, and this kid comes up with his two buddies. And he's like, you're in my seats. And they're like, no, blah, blah, blah. So they go back and forth. He comes back a second time. He's like, no, dude, you're in my seats. He's like, no, guy, like they were like getting like at it. And I'm in the middle. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to watch like Jake Gyllenhaal. The guy's a stud. Like, come on. So then when he's leaving, he's like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. Those kids are being Fs. And I was just like, what? So then he walked away, and then he brought the usher back, and the usher was like, yeah, you're in the wrong seat. So Brad, Rad, and Tad had to move, and those three kids sat right next to me. And the kid that sat right next to me, they used that word. I was like, hey, man, you shouldn't use that word. You don't know who's around you. He's like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, they just were. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I was like, well, you're not really offending me, but I was like, you're kind of an asshole. And I was like, I don't do that often, but I was so mad that I was missing some of the movie, because I missed the part of like the blip. If you've seen the Marvel movies, like I didn't understand the whole blip thing. And then I learned about it later. But the weirdest part is after I told him that, he got up and left and never came back. Like, I didn't intimidate him. Like, I wasn't aggressive. I was just kind of peeved. And then his two buddies sat there without him there. So I was like baffled by this. But I'm just glad Rad, Tad, and Brad didn't like kill this guy, because it was like those types of dudes versus like the neckbeard, like Magic the Gathering type stereotype people. I don't like the stereotype, but you know what I'm talking about, like those types of people. And then the other times I've been to the movies, one time I was with Duff. We saw I Am Legend. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. When the dog died, some lady just goes, "It's just a dog," when everyone was like crying in the movie theater. one, it was wicked funny, but two, what a dick. And then me and Duff again, we saw Friday the 13th remake. At the beginning, when Jason's like bombing after people, this guy behind us is giving like directions like he's Rand McNally, and I did just the old double look like behind you. So in my head, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to speak up for myself. So then me and Lindsay, years later, most recently when we saw The Joker, when that came out, this guy 2 seats over just wouldn't shut the fuck up. Just kept talking and talking. So I just had enough because I couldn't enjoy the movie. I leaned over to him and I was like, hey man, can you just like stop talking? And he got so mad at me. Like he just kept on like overly laughing and talking after that, like being a dick. So Lindsay was like, let's just move up 2 seats. And I was like, I don't want to get Brad, Rad, and Tad on me. She's like, I don't understand that reference. I was like, yeah, that's right. So we move up 2 aisles and I'm like, all right, I can still hear this guy talking, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom. I see in the reflection on like the door that he's behind me. I'm like, here we go. I'm going to fight some old guy in the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, come out. I'm washing my hands. He walks by me and just stares at me. I didn't say anything. I just laughed and go, all right, man. So I was walking out. So he was in front of me and I looked behind him. He's wearing like a Harley Davidson just jacket. Like it wasn't like a biker jacket. It was just like he bought it at like Home Depot. Like and then like I go outside and I see his little motorcycle. It's got like the saddlebags on the side. Like it wasn't badass. It's like something like you would buy like from Wild Hogs. He looks like a guy from the movie Wild Hogs. Like that's what this guy looked like. But let's wrap up this episode 9. I thank you for checking in with me. My movie suggestion of the week, I haven't seen it yet, so by the time you probably listen to this, I'm going to watch it, is Soul on Disney+. I hear a lot of good things about it, and I'm excited to check it out. My music suggestion is Juan Deuce, the album No Sweat. He has a song called Larry Sellers on there, and it's awesome. He's actually coming out with new music. He actually just dropped a latest single out now. I think it's Perennials. I forget the name of it. I am awful at this. Check that out. So I bought this mask called the Sippy mask. You might have seen it. I'm going to post about it. It's a mask where you can like open the front and it's just your mouth so you can take like sips and bites of food. I linked up with them. They gave me a code for 20% off. So if anyone wants to buy one, thesippymask.com, use promo code Timothy20. I'll post about it, but it's a pretty sick mask. Like that's not even like an ad. That's just like me buying something and being like, hey, you guys should probably buy this too. But to finish this episode, I got some good news moving forward. Let's start off with the next episode, episode 10. I'm going to tell you guys the story from high school on spring break when I shit myself. That's a fucking crowd pleaser. Every time I tell that story to somebody, they absolutely lose it. So tune into that next week. Also, t-shirts are in the works. It's probably just going to be some sort of the logo of either one, the cartoon one or the face one. But I also have like a backup plan for a t-shirt, and I'm pretty excited, and I want to release that. I have stickers coming out. Pretty excited about these. They actually look pretty cool, and they should be arriving tomorrow. I'm going to send those out for free to anybody that wants them, as long as supplies last. I get to use that for once. But those will be free. If you want, because I am paying out of pocket, I'm not looking to make any money off this podcast. I just want to break even. Or if anyone wants to pay me, it would be like big companies. But if you want to donate $1 for these stickers, even if you don't, that's fine. I will still send you a sticker or stickers if you want them. $1 goes a long way. My Venmo is something. I don't know the name of it. I think it's 20Tim or TIMinutes. I forget. I am awful at this. But I do have stickers coming out as well. And then t-shirts will be down the road. And it'll be like a pre-order type thing. But also, huge announcement next week. You're going to have to listen to the full episode. I am very excited about this. You will be surprised about this. I think only like 2.5 people know. I'm very excited. So please tune in. Tell a friend about the podcast. Reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything you got. I love you guys. That is another episode of 20TIMinutes. I am your host, Tim McCarthy. I fucking love you guys. I would love to hug you, but COVID. Go have yourself a fucking week. Bye. This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.